Hi there and welcome to the latest Met Office week ahead forecast, and it looks like a mostly fine week, that is, until the two bank holidays make an appearance. More on that in a moment. First this week we've got high pressure nearby to the southwest, switching the winds from the chilly northwesterlies that we experienced at the weekend to flow from the mid-Atlantic, a milder air source in other words, and we're in between a warm front and a cold front. Warm sector conditions, but with this mild Atlantic air brings a lot of moisture, a lot of cloud cover across the UK, some breaks in the east and northeast, but otherwise it's mostly grey skies. The cloud thick enough in places to give some light showers, just about anywhere prone to these. They'll be most frequent, however, across western Scotland, northern parts of Northern Ireland. Not amounting to a great deal, but grey and damp in places nevertheless. However, it is going to feel less cold. Now we'll get some breaks in the cloud to the east. Temperatures perhaps up to 16, 17 Celsius, could get an isolated 18 Celsius. Otherwise, we're looking at generally 13, 14 degrees, a few degrees up compared with where we're at the weekend. Wednesday starts off similar, generally frost-free, a lot of cloud cover, a better chance early in the day of some cloud breaks across parts of central and eastern England. But for Scotland and Northern Ireland, the cloud turns thicker, the breeze starts to increase, and heavier, more persistent rain starts to move in, especially for central and northern Scotland. That falling as snow over the hills and mountains of Scotland, generally above 400 to 500 metres. Ahead of that, it stays mild, but not quite as mild as Tuesday, 15 or 16 Celsius. Now, this front that's bringing the persistent rain and hill snow to northern parts of the UK, well, that topples southeastwards overnight. And behind it, we've got colder air returning once again from a northwesterly direction. And so there'll be a touch of frost first thing across northern and western parts of the UK. That's where the clearest skies will be, the best chance of some brighter weather first thing, a marked contrast to Tuesday and Wednesday. We keep sunny spells into the afternoon in many places, but cloud will begin to fill in, a few showers down the east coast first thing, then it turns drier for many, but it'll feel fresher once again, 11 or 12 Celsius in the south, 7 to 8 further north. And then by the end of the afternoon, another spell of wet weather moves into western Scotland and Northern Ireland, again with some snow over Scotland's hills and mountains. Speaking of cold air, we do have a cold plunge midweek on the other side of the Atlantic through the Davis Straits in this deep blue colour emerging, and that will come up against milder air across the mid-Atlantic, strengthening the temperature contrast, and as a result firing up the jet stream. The jet stream becomes active and shifted a bit further south compared with earlier in the week. That then in turn picking up a weather front and turning it into a fairly deep low for Good Friday, and it looks like that low will pass northern parts of the UK, most likely on a track across northern Scotland. So Good Friday increasingly turns wet and windy from the word go, perhaps dry at first in the southeast, but spells of rain soon arrive across the UK. Heaviest and most persistent in the north and northwest. The winds really strengthening through the day, most likely peaking during the second half of Good Friday, and gales expected widely across the north and the west, with the risk of the strongest winds the north and northwest of Scotland. 60, perhaps 70 mile per hour wind gusts, but a lot hinges on the depth of the low and its precise track. Will firm up on the details over the next few days. But it looks likely that low pressure will be in charge as we end the week, bringing spells of rain, increasingly strong winds in many places. Not the nicest start to the bank holiday weekend, and it doesn't improve much during the rest of the weekend because the jet stream remains in charge. It's likely to pick up further weather systems from the west. Uncertainty on the exact details of how these systems will be picked up and deepened and their track they'll take, but it looks likely that on Saturday, Easter Day and Easter Monday we'll see changeable weather. Not raining all the time, it won't be windy either all the time, but it's likely that the weather will be chopping and changing from rain to showers, and it will often be very blustery. So we'll keep you updated on all of that, of course, with two important bank holidays coming up. But for now, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube so you never miss an update. Bye-bye.